Om Shanti students. Today I am going to discuss the numerical problem related to law of chemical combination. The theory part of law of chemical combination already discussed in previous classes. So just try to understand. In short, I am going to discuss the definition or a statement for the each law of chemical combination. I have already told you law of chemical combination. Any chemical reaction always occurs in certain ratio and that always obeys certain law during the combination. Hence, that is known as law of chemical combination. And there are several law of chemical combination. Among that, here one is the law of conservation of mass. This law was stated by Lavoisier in 1789, and you also know the Lavoisier is also known as father of ancient chemistry. So this law was stated by Lavoisier, and it is just like the law of conservation of energy. As you state the law of conservation energy, the energy cannot be created nor be destroyed, only transfer one form to another form. What does mean? The total energy of the system, total energy of the universe is conserved. The same way you have to state the law of conservation of mass. Total mass of the substance is conserved, no matter that is physically or chemically changed. So numericals related to it, how you solve the data for the reactant and products provided. So first of all, you calculate the total mass of reactant and total mass of product. That mass given directly or indirectly, but you have to calculate total mass of reactant and total mass of product. If total mass of reactant and total mass of product comes equal to each other, then you can say the given data illustrate the law of conservation of mass, or the given data are agreement with the law of conservation of mass. For that purpose, just here one numerical problem: what mass of silver nitrate will react with 0.585 gram sodium chloride. Here the silver nitrate react with sodium chloride. What happened? Produce the silver chloride and sodium nitrate. So according to that numerical, you have to find the mass of silver nitrate, that is question mark, and that certain amount silver nitrate that is to be calculated, treated with 5.8 gram of 5.85 grams sodium chloride. Consequently, how much amount the silver chloride obtained? That is 14.35 and sodium nitrate 8.5 gram. So you are observed, and here written note that it is this data are agree with the law of conservation of mass. That's why, and it is written if the law of conservation of mass is true. So according to law of conservation of mass, you can write here total mass of reactant equal total mass of products. So here reactant side silver nitrate and sodium chloride. So total mass, suppose that silver nitrate, that amount is x gram. So you can write x plus 5.85, and that is equal sign total mass of product, that is 14.35 plus 8.5. So you calculate here 5 and 8, and here 12 and here 2, and now this side x plus 5.85. So x will be 22.85 minus 5.85, that is 17 gram. So 17 gram silver nitrate will react with sodium chloride. Accordingly, this much amount the silver chloride and silver nitrate will produce. So numericals related to law of conservation of energy very easy. Only you have to calculate the total mass of reactant and total mass of product. Maybe that data provided given indirectly. Accordingly, you have to find the mass of reactant and products. Okay. Now, second law of chemical combination, that is law of definite proportion or law of constant proportion. Law of constant proportion. This law was stated by the Proust in 1799. Okay. So, first listen the statements. In theory part it is already discussed in detail. Now in short you take just the statement. Any compound, any pure compound taken by any sources or prepared by any method, but total mass of constituent element is fixed or remains same. So, for example, suppose here the mercury and chlorine react, give the mercurous chloride and mercury chloride. The same way two element nitrogen and oxygen give several compound, nitrous oxide, nitrogen dioxide, it is nitric oxide, nitrous oxide, nitrogen trioxide, like that. So, any compound will form that one, no matter that is prepared by any method. So, for that purpose numerical, here the two experimental data will be provided related to law of constant proportion. Just try to understand, numericals related to law of constant proportion, two experimental data will be provided for the same compound. For example, just you take formation of carbon dioxide. By direct method, carbon and oxygen heated give the carbon dioxide. How much amount carbon oxygen taken and accordingly carbon dioxide obtained. And the second method, indirectly calcium carbonate heated will get the calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Here also carbon dioxide is obtained. How much amount is taken calcium carbonate doesn't matter, but we observe the amount of carbon dioxide, and on the basis of that given data we can find the percentage composition of carbon, okay, or percentage composition, anyone you can calculate percentage composition of oxygen, and find the that always combine in a certain ratio. So, either you find the percentage composition of any constituent element, and just you find the percentage composition of the carbon. Here also from according to this data, provided data, you find the percentage composition of carbon. If percentage composition of carbon in this experimental data and second experiment data will come same, then you can say the given data are agreement with the law of constant proportion. Sometimes suppose here the data as a data sufficient data is not provided, but you know the ratio between that, according to that given data you find the ratio between that two element, means the ratio between carbon and oxygen in given data, according to given data you find the ratio between carbon and oxygen. In second experiment again you find the ratio between carbon and oxygen between that given data, and just find here ratio will come same, here ratio in this first experimental data and the ratio in second experimental data will come same, because compound is same, no. So, a statement what is given here, the any compound, pure compound taken by any sources. Suppose sources, I am using the sources what, suppose the water taken from the tap water. So, formula will write the H2O. If suppose you take the pond water, here also composition of hydrogen oxygen 2:1 ratio H2O, or suppose lake water, again we will get the H2O. So, either that compound taken by any sources, but the ratio between the constituent element will be same, no change. So, related to the law of constant proportion, what will you do? numerical given related to law of constant proportion, what you will do? Either you find the percentage composition of one constituent element in first experimental data, and again find the percentage composition of the that same element in second experimental data, or suppose it is easier to find the ratio between that constituent element, you find the ratio between that. So, in this way you have to solve. If ratio will come same, then you say the given data illustrate the law of definite proportion. For that purpose, just you take one numericals related to it. So, you always remember in law of constant proportion, two experimental data provided. So, in second numerical, just you find 10 ml hydrogen combined with 5 ml of oxygen to form water. Here water formed by combination of hydrogen and oxygen, okay, 10 ml and 5 ml. And second experimental data here, the when 200 ml of hydrogen at STP is pass over heated copper oxide, यानी copper oxide में हम लोग cupric oxide just pass here the hydrogen, then we get the water and copper liberated. Here again the water form. This is the first experimental and this is the second experimental. So, in second experimental data, what here the statement given? 200 ml hydrogen. 200 ml hydrogen passed over heated copper oxide at STP. Then what happened? The copper oxide loses 0.144 gram its weight. What's the weight? It loses 0.144 gram, loses the weight, this one. What happens? That means here the copper liberated and this copper oxide loses its weight when hydrogen react together, means that hydrogen take the oxygen in it, that is why its weight decreases. So, what decrease the weight? That is the weight of the oxygen. Here the copper liberated copper and now here water form, and its what's the weight? That loses its the weight 0.144 gram. That means that what remove from that? Here the oxygen removed. So, how much removed? That much amount. So, according to that statement, here the cupric oxide loses 0.144 gram of its weight, means amount of oxygen here 0.144, because from cupric oxide oxygen is removed. So, how much weight of cupric oxide decrease? That much amount oxygen removed from that. So, it is clear. So, now in first experimental data you can find here the ratio, you can write in first experimental data, here ratio between hydrogen and oxygen, hydrogen and oxygen. You can write here hydrogen here 10 and oxygen here 5, means 2:1 ratio coming. Okay. Now, in second experimental data, here the oxygen, where in oxygen? In water, and that amount of oxygen 1.44 gram, and here hydrogen, according to law of conservation of mass, the total mass is conserved. Here the hydrogen, how much amount that remain in same, associated as a water, in how much here the weight of hydrogen, that much amount associated in water. So, in that compound here the oxygen here 0.14 gram, here volume here given, here the weight given. So, just it convert into the volume. So, here the 200 ml hydrogen pass at STP, no. So, that should be changed into the that oxygen should be changed into the volume. Here weight given, no, here volume given for hydrogen. So, ratio should be in volume or weight. So it is the weight in gram and it is the volume. So that should be changed into the volume. So all of you know 32 gram oxygen contains or having 22.4 liter means ml, this much amount 22,400 ml oxygen at STP. This is correct. In 1 mole of any substance as a volume, that is 22.4 liter means 22,400 ml by mole concept we know. So therefore in this much amount of oxygen, how much volume? 0.144 gram oxygen, that should be 22400, and now here 32 and now here 0.144 ml, that one. Okay, so now here you can calculate 4 5s are 20 and 24, 4 6s are and 4 8s are 32, and by 8 here 0.08 1s are 8 and 6 8 8s are 60. Okay, so just here find the here ratio. Now here amount of oxygen in volume, it is calculated here 5600 into 0.018. Okay, so now ratio between their own hydrogen and oxygen. Now again here in second experimental data you find the ratio between hydrogen and oxygen. So hydrogen here 200 ml and now here oxygen here 5600 into 0.018. Okay, so here just to find here how much value that one. So that ratio here 2:1 ratio here, just find 506, 8 1 ja and 8 ja, that is correct, no, 18. So just you multiply by that 5 6 and 1 8. Now 10 9 and 10 here, and now 20, and after 3 digit decimal here 1 2 3, that is 100 approx, 200 by 100.8 approx, that one. So just you find here 2 approx 2 times 2:1 ratio. So ratio coming same. So given data illustrate here written, no question. Does the above data correspond to the law of constant proportion? So you can write here yes, the given data illustrate the law of constant proportion. Followed? Now come to the second law of chemical combination. Second law of multiple proportion. This law was stated by John Dalton in 1803. Okay, so according to that law, when two elements combine together gives two or more than two different compounds, the mass of one element combined with fixed mass of other always bear simple ratio. This is the statement. Okay, so now how will you solve the numerical problem related to it? So here also two experimental data will be provided, two related two element here A and B, suppose, and gives two different compounds. Suppose it is AB2 and now it is AB3. Okay. So what will you do? In a statement given, when two elements combined together gives two or more than two different compound. So two compound here form. So next part of the statement, mass of one element combined with fixed mass of other always bear simple ratio. So in that compound, either you fix B element and calculate the mass of A, and then accordingly again you calculate the mass of B with respect to A, and if A will, here B is fixed, then you calculate the mass of A with respect to B, and here also calculate the mass of A with respect to B. It is easier, whatever you try to find which one is easier, either A element will be fixed or B element fixed, according to data you can decide. So no problem, any one should be fixed and calculate the mass of others, and when you calculated the mass of one element with respect to second element, then again you find the ratio between that. If that ratio come in whole integer, then you will say the given data illustrate the law of multiple proportion. So here also, here two data will be provided. So what, this is the way to solve the numerical problem. You calculate the weight of one element with respect to second element. In again in second experimental, same way find weight of one element with respect to second element, and just find the ratio between that. If the ratio come in whole integer, then you say the given data illustrate the law of multiple proportion. So for that purpose, again here the numerical given. So just you try to solve. Method is easier, not so tough, only you find the weight of one element with respect to fixed mass of other element. So just here third numericals, 5.975 gram of the higher oxide of metal gave 5.575 gram of lower oxide on heating. So here the 5.975 gram, this is the higher oxide of metal, okay. On heating, that one gives the lower oxide of metal, and that amount here given gave 5.575 gram of lower oxide on heating. So that much, that amount given 5.575 gram lower oxide, okay. Further here the quantity of the lower oxide gave 5.175 gram metal on reduction. When it is reduced, suppose it is heated with hydrogen or any reducing agent, so after you can write here reduction, then we get the metal only here, the 5.175 gram metal, 5.175 gram metal. This one data provided, okay. And now here question here, prove that these results illustrate the law of multiple proportion. So according to law of conservation of mass, the mass is conserved no matter that is chemically, physically changed. So finally here from higher oxide of metal, how much the weight, that is metal and oxygen. Now finally you are getting metal how much after reduction, 5.175. So here 5.175 gram metal here present. So when it is subtracted this much amount, then remaining weight will be the amount of oxygen. So you can write here amount of oxygen, that is 5.975 minus 5.175. So how much that one? 008, okay. This much gram amount of oxygen, and amount of metal this one. So in this compound in higher oxide of metal, so weight of metal it is known, weight of oxygen it is known, okay. So what will you do? You have to find the mass of one element with respect to other. So here you can write here mass of any one fixed, either you fix this one or this one. Suppose this one fixed, and with respect to metal you have to find the oxygen. So mass of oxygen with respect to metal, how much? So that amount of oxygen 0.800 and this one 5.175. Okay, this one the mass of oxygen with respect to metal. Again the mass of oxygen in lower oxide of metal. So lower oxide of metal this much amount, and the here metal also, and now here metal weight, mass is conserved. So just you subtract this much amount metal from this, you will get the amount of oxygen. So mass of oxygen in lower oxide of metal, how much? 5.575 minus 5.175. So this much 0, now here 0 and here 4. Okay. So now here you find the mass of oxygen with respect to metal, how much? That is 0.400 by metal weight, that one 5.175. Okay. So in lower oxide of metal the ratio mass of oxygen this much, and in higher oxide of metal, that is the mass of oxygen with respect to metal this much. So again you find the ratio between that. That's why I told the mass of one element combined with fixed mass of other element always bear the simple ratio. So here ratio you find ratio between them. So here the amount of oxygen with respect to metal and amount of oxygen in lower oxide with respect to metal. So find the ratio 0.800 5.175 divided by 0.400 and 5.175. Okay. So 800 5.175 into 5.175 by 0.400. This was calculated. So here we haven't calculated, because if you calculate that it will take time, and again here in ratio it will be difficult to calculate and divide. So simply we have to know the ratio between that, no. So this by this, so this one cancel, and now here 2 times. So what you will say here, 2:1 ratio. So again we will write the given data. At last we have to write given data are given data illustrate the law of multiple proportion. Okay. So in this way you have to find. So related to law of multiple proportion, so just you find the weight of one element with respect to second element, and again finally you find the ratio between them, and if it comes the whole integer ratio, then you say the given data are agreement with the law of multiple proportion. So in NCERT no numerical problem given related to law of chemical combination. So if you want to do practice, so you have to take the help of the side book in reference book, so that it will be easier. Otherwise no any numericals given related to law of chemical combination. Okay. So now one numericals here. Related to law of multiple proportion, 2 oxide of metal contains 27.6% and 30% of oxygen respectively. If the formula of first oxide is M3O4, find that of second. So 2 oxide of metal contain here this much oxygen. So first oxide of metal contains 27.6% oxygen. So amount of metal, how much? 100 minus 27.6, that is 4, 2 and 7. Okay. So you find the weight of one element with respect to other, anyone you can take fix. So again here you find the weight of oxygen with respect to metal. How will you write? 27.6 by 72.4. Okay. Or here formula given first compound, no. So this 3, 4 that indicate the mole, 3 mole of metal and 4 mole of oxygen. So that is also can be calculated here in other way. First of all you find the in second oxide of metal contains, that is 30% oxygen. So naturally amount of metal in that oxide of metal, that is 100 minus 70, that is the 30, so 70%. Okay. So here mole, here the formula M3O4 in first case, you know, no, percentage composition divided by atomic mass, that indicate the moles. Okay. In so first case here formula given first oxide of metal, so you can write here percentage composition of metal by atomic mass of metal. Okay. This is the ratio that indicate the mole, here the 3 mole, and now here percentage composition of oxygen by, you can write here, no, oxygen element, that is 16. So you can write here 3 by 4. This is indicate the mole, this one indicate the mole in the formula M34. So that ratio comes 3 by 4. So just here you find the percentage composition of metal here already written 72.4, and atomic mass it is not known, so by M, and percentage composition of oxygen 27.6, and now here 16, that is equal to 3 by 4. Okay. So now here 72.4 by M and into 16 by 27.6 equal 3 by 4. So atomic mass of metal can be calculated now. So you can write here 3 into 27.6 by 72.4 into 16 into 4. Okay, this one. In second case again you find, in second case you have to find the formula of second case MXOI, this value to be calculated. So in second case you can write here percentage composition of metal and atomic mass of metal by percentage composition of oxygen by 16. So here the atomic mass metal already calculated here. So just you find the percentage composition of metal here. In second case what you observe, the metal 70%. 70, and this much amount here, you just simplify that one, you divided by that, and percentage composition of oxygen here 30%, so you can write 30 and now 60. So what the ratio come now here, x by y, that is the formula. Okay, so easier. So according to law of multiple proportion, the ratio always remain fixed in any compound. So according to that problem solve here. So numericals related to law of chemical calculation, relate either that comes related to law of multiple proportion or definite proportion. If the numerical drop from that part, either that one given related to law of constant proportion and law of multiple proportion. So just you try to solve numerical problem related to these two with help of the reference book, because no numerical given in NCERT book. So in three part, Gay-Lussac law already stated, and the Avogadro's law already stated. Avogadro's law, you can see the equal volume of all gases at under same temperature and pressure contain same number of molecules, and Gay-Lussac law, the if for the gaseous reaction, if the gaseous reactant combine together by volume, that always bear in ratio by volume also, in product also, that is the Gay-Lussac law. So as a mole you write now that one, suppose here the nitrogen and hydrogen react together, 2 mole of ammonia and 3 mole here. So here 1, 3, 2, 1 mole you write, 3 mole of hydrogen, 2 mole of. So according to Gay-Lussac, by volume, if that the reactant combined in a certain ratio, accordingly that produce the products by volume in same in certain ratio. So by volume you can write here 1 liter, 3 liter and 2 liter ammonia. So if you express as a mole in any chemical reaction, and by volume if you consider that one, that related to Gay-Lussac law. Okay, nothing it so easier in it, only you recall the statement. So thank you for listening. Further, now here the chapter completed up to law of chemical combination. After that, in content having the mole concept and stoichiometric reaction, means the chemical related to chemical equation, and different mode to express the strength of solution, and finally the empirical formula. So thank you for that.